How many people play video games in 2021 and the reason why? So, people play for various reasons, and in 2015, there were already around 2 billion individuals playing video games. However, you'll find out how much this number has changed and the reasons why. And at the end of this video, we'll talk about a particularly dark aspect of why people are hooked on gaming. Enough said, and let's get started. Before we talk about the numbers, let me show you the first underlying reason why people keep playing video games. And here's the first reason: otherworldly experience. Well, video games allow us to experience many things that we might never experience in our world. So for instance, you're into fantasy, medieval, or just any adventure that you probably dreamed of. And video games could easily provide you with an outlet to experience those aspects. With that, your dream experience would just be one console away. Unlimited freedom. Speaking of experience, in video games, you're generally in control of your experience. Here's a tragic real-life example. For instance, those being bullied at school mostly don't have control over whether other kids are mean to them or not. Whereas in video games, they have this sense of control over their social experience, as they could mute people they don't like, move to a different game, or just move to a different server. Competence and mastery. Undeniably, one of the things that make us happy is realizing one's potential. And in games, you've got to level up, have a score, have leaderboards, skills upgrade, and so on. So this allows you to see your progress, then experience the feeling of performing well, since it could be way harder and would take more time to experience that development in the real world. In direct contrast to how games were designed for you to continuously see yourself progress. And this made that virtual showcase of competence and mastery very enticing to gamers. More competition. So for the most of us, competition makes every task remarkable. And in games, you're able to compete with many more people, even for hours. In contrast, if you play basketball in the real world, yes, you will be able to still compete, but it would be only twice or thrice a week, and you've got to go out of your house and maybe get yourself physically exhausted. Whereas every time you play StarCraft or CSGO, you could easily compete with others, and winning more competitions is pretty addictive. And the darkest and the most controversial reason: in games, it's safe to fail. In 2021, there are already almost 3 billion people who play video games and are mostly adults. And as an adult, you're more prone to want to take risks, but most of the time, it could be really devastating. Unlike in real life, games allow you to take risks, and whether you lose, you could just press restart and try again. However, if you fail a test at school or make a terrible mistake at work, then your failure is irreversible, as you could fail your subject or even get fired. With that, most gamers found solace in games and forgot that they got a life to live in the real world. And worse, eventually, we have to face our problems and so as our failures. So, games could instead become a big hindrance for us to live a better life. You've discovered an amazing topic about how many video gamers were in 2021. And now click this and discover what is the number one game ever.